And Ken Post is with us today, Zounds Hearing of Laguna Hills. Nice to see you here.
Good to be here.
And I see you are doing a hearing screening at the Florence Sylvester Center coming up this week, the 23rd. What is anyone can go there? And
that's on Thursday. We have
okay.
there's a sign-up sheet there.
Okay.
So that we know who's coming and when, and we don't have, we have people spaced out.
Okay, good.
So that they're not waiting a long time.
Yeah, they do a lot of good services over there.
Yeah.
And this will be a good event. So for those of you who are interested, call the Florence Sylvester Senior Center. We have them on every couple weeks. And you know what? I have their number right here. So let me just tell you, because that's who you need to call, right?
Right.
For this. Call them at 949-380-0155. See if space is available for the Zounds Hearing event coming up this Thursday. So call the Senior Center, and their events, they book up really quickly. Yeah. So what are some of the common complaints that patients historically have when it comes to using hearing aids?
Yeah, over the years, especially the older ones, first of all, they were pretty big. They were big and clunky. They've come down in size quite a bit. Just the tech industry has really driven that down to more reasonable sizes. Probably almost anybody who knows anybody who has hearing aids knows that when you gave them a hug, they'd kind of whistle, or sometimes even
when
you're talking to people, they'd be adjusting it, and the next thing you know, they go, woo. It's called feedback.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, and that's the hearing aids would do that, especially as you close them off. People using telephones, when they put the phone up to their ear,
right, you get electronic feedback.
They'd get woo.
Yeah.
Well, and often they would just take the hearing aid out and try and use the phone, which sort of then they have trouble hearing in the phone. So the better hearing aids nowadays have electronics in there that cancels that feedback, so that you can use the phone. You don't have that kind of problem when you're hugging someone or whatever. So that little whistle is there is just feedback. And that's something that the latest technology seems to have solved pretty well. What else? Oh, in noisy situations like windy or different noises your hearing aid's amplifying everything. So you've got a voice there, you've got a noise being amplified. Getting the noise cancellation has been a big thing with the newer hearing aids, so that you can hear when it's windy and also when we're fairly close, say someone's further away, is the adaptability of the hearing aid of being able to, okay, you're hearing here, but okay, now I'm in a situation where there's a speaker over there further away. They will adapt to that situation. The older ones didn't, so it's like you'd see people, I gotta adjust my hearing aid. Well, they're much more automatic now with doing the adjustments for you.
And of course, one of the big situations people have often talked about is they're at a party, in a gathering, or even worse, at a restaurant where you have a lot of ambient noise, especially nowadays. There was an interesting article done in the Orange County Register last week about how the noise level of restaurants has gone up over the years. They don't use carpeting anymore, and it's kind of what they want. They want that liveliness in there, but that makes it much harder to hear. Even for people who can hear well, it's hard to hear.
I was going to say, for people that hear well. Ours in particular, they have a dining mode, which you can set with our remote control, and what that does, it basically turns up all the focus to the person in front of you and tunes out the voices around you. And it's all electronically done. You just push the dining mode button, and you're ready for a noisy restaurant. So we have that built in as part of our better hearing aids.
And that's a remote somebody can carry around with them? Is that
it's a little small. It's about yay big. Smaller than a cell phone. And you can carry that around. And mostly for dining, you can actually tweak the volume a little bit on it, but ours are so automatic that very few people, except when they're going to a party or a restaurant, even use them, because it's pretty automatic on all its controls internally for you. So it does the adjustment for you nowadays. Yeah.
And you've talked about this before, something people should consider when they're at that time they know they need a hearing aid.
Yeah.
and it's time to purchase one. What are some of the things that people should consider?
You need to look at several things. One thing in particular is like the warranty on the hearing aid. How long before you might have to start paying for parts, or if there's a problem with the hearing aid. How long you'll have, if you come in for service in 6 months, are they going to charge you for that?
Right.
What kind of things? We build in all, in our initial charge, we don't like to nickel and dime people, so the initial charge includes all your checkups, battery changes about once a year. Our rechargeable units have to have the batteries changed. We do that for free. So all of that thing, even coming down to some people might have an irritation in their ear because of the different tips. We'll do a custom ear mold for you, and that's all built in free with the price. If you need one, we do that for you, and we're not charging extra for all those little things that some places do.
What about, is there a trial period? Maybe somebody gets the hearing aids and for whatever reason, they're just not comfortable with them, or it's just not working for them. I mean, that's going to happen with any brand of anything.
Yeah, that's actually state mandated. The law in the state says you've got 45 days to try out, and if it doesn't work out for you, we give all your money back. So the state has said, actually, it just changed in January. It was 30 days. Now it's 45.
Oh, really? It's mandated.
It's
Interesting.
mandated. It's 45 days. Any kind of problem,
Wouldn't that be nice if they had that for everything, for cars and stuff?
Really. But you need to be going in to work on it. If there is a problem, you need to be going in, because there's a lot of things we can do.
Sure, of course.
To make things more comfortable, or to adjust this and that. On the hearing aid, we can actually adjust electronically things that are, if you're having any kind of problem, we encourage you to come in. We schedule, once you come in, we schedule an immediate come in a week, because we want to talk to you about any kind of problems. And then after that, you come in a month, so that we keep people, we keep them going, so that we can be proactive in fixing any kind of problems they're having, because we want people to use them. We want them, we don't want them sitting, oh, I didn't use them last week. Well, what's the problem? Why? We want to know why they're not being used, because they're so helpful to people.
Yeah.
We want we've made them so that people can use them easily. We put a lot of improvements so that they work in noisier areas, and they don't whistle when you hug or whatever. So we've done all that so that people can use them without much problem.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. You guys are located not far from here in Laguna Hills, so whereabouts?
We're in Lake Forest, right at the 5 freeway behind Coco's Restaurant.
Oh, okay. All right, very good. And it's actually, you guys call it your Laguna Hills location, because you're right by the Laguna Hills. You're like pretty much right on the border there.
We're right on the border. Technically, we're in Laguna Hills.
Yeah.
So we call it Laguna Hills, because I don't want to confuse people when they look at our address.
Yeah.
It's Laguna Hills, but it says Zounds of Laguna Woods.
Right.
What is it? So
but it's
right
nearby.
There.
That's
it's
the
nearby.
main thing.
Yeah.
Their number is 949-215-9100. And you can see that Ken's there to really help you out. Website is on there as well. If you want to go take a look around on the website, you certainly can. And Zounds Hearing, they're a big company. They're all over the country.
Yeah.
And they're quite huge. So make sure if you go online, you get the one that's Laguna Hills. But you can see it's not just some small little operation. It's a big operation that have a dedicated product that they manufacture, and then have the dedicated stores as well.
We have 160 locations nationwide and growing.
Very good.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Good to be here.
All right, and we might come by sometime and take a look around at your place.
Very good.
All right, we'll be right back, and I'm going to take a break and then to the rec report.